guys, today I want to talk about number lines, and this is something that we have struggled with all year long. So take a look at with me. This is from your book, from lesson 102, okay? Example 2. So we can always tell if it's counting by tenths or by hundredths by looking at from whole number to whole number, okay? So I have a whole number here of 8. And I have a whole number here, I guess you can't really see this one, 8, and a whole number here of 9, and a whole number here of 10. So when it's talking about tenths or hundredths, remember that's taking the space between a whole number, so 9 to 10, and splitting it up. So if it's a tenth, it's splitting that space up between 9 and 10 into 10 parts. Okay? So for instance here, it says, which decimal number are the arrows pointing? Well, my 9 is here and my 10 is here. So I'm looking from this line to this line. There are not 100 spaces here. There is no way my decimal number could be out of 100, okay? So they have split this into 10 pieces. So I have one piece here, 2, 3, 4, and this big one is 5, 6. Okay, the arrow is pointing to my 6th one. So how I write my decimal number is I'm following my number line, the whole number that I've made it to. I'm not going to write 10, I haven't made it there yet. I've made it to 9, so my number is going to be 9. Okay, that's my whole number. And anything after that is going to be a decimal. And remember, the first place value after a decimal is the tenths place. So if my arrow is pointing to the 6th one after the 9, and there's 10 total pieces, I would put my 6 in the tenths place. That means I've gone 6/10 of the way. So I'm following my arrow. I'm not going to write 8. I made it there already. I'm going to write 9 because that's my whole number. I haven't gone to 10 yet, so I can't write 10 here. So it would be 9 and 6/10, 6 being in the 10th place. Now if you look at example B, I have 7 here, the 7 decimal 0. That's where 7 is. And then all the way over here, I have 8. Is it possible that there are 100 lines between here all the way over here? Yes, there is. And so what they've done for us is in between, they've counted by tens for us. So here we have 7.1, which means we've gone 10 out of 100 places. 7.2, we've gone 20. Notice how I'm doing 2, adding my 0 because it's the tenths place. I'm turning into hundreds. So here I've gone 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And then once I've gotten to 100, it's going to be a whole new number. So my arrow is pointing to this line here. Okay? So I've gone 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is this line here. Now, so what I always like to do, I've gone 50, so I'm going to erase this. I'm going to pretend that instead of just 7.5, it's actually 7.50 since I've gone 50. And instead of 7.6, I'm going to write 7.60. So from this big line to this big line, I'm getting from 50 to 60, which means there's 10 more pieces. So this first one would be 51, and my arrow is pointing to 52. Okay, so you can add that 0 to it. So 52. Now when I write this decimal number, my whole number that I've gotten to is 7. I haven't reached 8 yet, so I'm going to write 7. That's my whole number. Now anything after this, since I haven't reached another whole number, is going to be a decimal. And since I've gone 52, I would write 52. Since it's split into 100 pieces, I have to make sure my 2 is in my hundredths place, which it is. So my answer for this one becomes 7 and 52 hundredths, since it ends in the hundredths place. Now let's look at example 3. Rounding decimals. Round 9 and 6/10 to the nearest whole number. So I would underline my whole number just like I normally would. Circle what's next to it. Okay, this 6 is bigger than 5, so it's going to make this 9 turn into a 10. Everything after it becomes a 0. Okay, now I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you because I just realized it's hard to see. So I have 7 and 52 hundredths, which is up here. It says round this to the nearest tenth. Okay, so I need to underline my tenths place, which is the 5. So I underline the one I'm rounding to. I circle next door. This 2 is less than 5, so my 5 is going to stay the same. Everything before it stays the same. Everything after it turns into a 0. Just like rounding any other time, okay? The rules don't change, but instead you just have to make sure you're looking at the right place value because the tenths place is very different from the tens place. So make sure that you're doing that correctly. All right, do the problems that you need to do for today. Bye.